Have you ever played TDS on Grass Isle or maybe even Sky Island and thought, wow, so much lush green shrubs and beautiful plants. I wonder if they could verse the zombies, like some kind of Plants vs Zombies warfare. No? Yeah, I kinda thought so. Even if you haven't thought of it, but I have. So, today we are going to see if plants could beat zombies in TDS. Let's take a look at our loadout first. First up, the Biologist. It's an early to mid-game tower with all 3 detections, meaning it can hit lead enemies, flying enemies, and hidden enemies, and is able to support the team greatly in the late game with its Poison Ivy and Nightshade's Confusion. It is also pretty cheap. Next up is our main DPS, the Golden Minigunner. It's a mid to late game DPS tower that has medium range, can hit hidden enemies, and is decently cheap. It can be spammed due to the lack of a placement limit. Now, me personally, I don't really like the Golden Minigunner. In my opinion, this does way too little damage, and you just have to spam it a lot, which makes this microwing extremely hard. The next 2 towers that I used together were the Farm and Harvester. The Harvester is an event-exclusive tower that uses thorns to deal damage and slow enemies. The catch is, if you have a farm within the range of the Harvester, the farms will also release thorns when the Harvester releases thorns, although for a shorter time. The Harvester does a lot of damage and is similar to a Ranger but on the floor. It can also attack hidden and flying enemies. That's all the towers that I'll be using, and let's get on to the main gameplay. Now, as the early game begins, I place down nothing. Even though I did say the Biologist is decently cheap, the starting level is just barely out of reach of the starting money, so I can't get a further game and I must wait until wave 2. I decided to place it around the small hill because the Sunflower's range is limited, so placing it here would help him maximize his already pretty small range. Nothing much really happens in the middle time, but something does happen a little bit later. Round about near wave 7, I placed down a few farms, in which I should not have, because I got too greedy and that made it so that I started to leak. Very fortunate for me, the leaks don't actually kill me, in fact they actually leave me on 1 HP. But unfortunately, my happiness was short-lived as I started leaking an entire fallen squire, and after the leaks I do in fact die. Now, some of you might see me leaking and not even trying to save it, like I only put down like a Biologist and that's about it. Why? Because if I can't even defend wave 10 or 9, then why can I defend wave 11 with less money because I had to place things in the back, right? So every time I leak, I usually just call it quits and just let them kill me. The start of the game doesn't really change much. I auto skip and I try to get down to Biologist. Around about wave 11, I leak again with less farming than before. This leak also proved too much and caused me to die again at around the same wave as last time. This time I was pretty upset because I changed my game plan and I thought I had changed what made me lose last time, but I still died. At this point, I knew it was probably not my fault, you know. I've died at wave 11. That's pretty early, right? I've died at wave 11 twice in a row, whilst being less greedy the second time. So I thought it probably has to do with my loadout, right? And so a friend asked me,
have you really checked every tower for that, kids?
wow, could have worded that a lot less like a medieval punishment, but yeah, I'm sure that I've checked every tower. Wait. The bunny soldiers can use a carrot for a gun, and a carrot is a plant, right? So, therefore, I can use the golden soldier for early game. With my new amazing early game tower slash sub DPS, I immediately hop into another match, eager to play another game. As I enter the match, I swiftly go to the map change, and instead of 4 seasons, this time I try using Tropical Isle instead, because it had a few loops that I could actually fully utilize. Yeah, so I know you guys won't care, right? But basically, at this part of the video, I went to go get a coconut to like drink, right? But then like this bird flew in through like my front door, and it just like scared the fadoodle sticks out of me. But like anyways, let's just get back onto the video. I placed down a Golden Soldier because it's the best other game we have in our hands. It can deal with regular enemies and hidden enemies quite easily. And unlike the first attempt and the second attempt, this time the other game doesn't have that much to talk about. At Wave 11, our new other game proves to be very useful, and everything goes swimmingly. After the booty clinching wave, I placed down my first biologist. Around about Wave 16, the Fallen Giant comes. I won't say it's that hard though. Coincidentally, on the same wave as the Fallen Giant, I also got my first Harvester down. It's later on when I beat the Fallen Giant though. Now, welcome in the one and only Wave 25. This is one of the many skill checks in Fallen, and is a massive step up from the previous waves. Why? It's because of the Fallen Jester. Usually, Fallen Giants are easy, as when you encounter them, you'll have the necessary defenses to kill them. But, if there is a Fallen Jester, then it will massively buff the Fallen Giants. The main buffs are Bloated and Blessed. Bloated doubles their health, and Blessed adds 100% more defense. But instead of blitzing through Wave 25, I actually struggled quite a lot. But after a bit, I do in fact kill it. Time for Wave 28, the wave in which we all know and hate. Now, I walked into Wave 28, diggity doo darn confident I can beat it with Biologist Nightshades, and with Harvester's Vines. Now, and after we blitz, and I mean like absolutely crushed the Fallen Rushes. What? You're telling me that we didn't win? What do you mean we didn't win? Oh, well, let's just try again, you know. Oh, gee willikers, it appears I've stumbled upon the wave that I fell to before. Worry not, as I greeted a little bit less, and I should have much more money to defend. And then I lost. Again. I mean, these were all the plant tower skins that I have. I tried to greed a little bit less, but I need farm so that I can actually use Harvest's ability. And I placed on a bunch of miniguns. That should have been enough. You know, maybe a new map would work. Yeah, so I genuinely forgot to just record the first 32 waves. So yeah. I decided to use U-turn because it had a ton of U-turns that my towers could benefit a lot of. Now I'm not entirely sure how we got to this position, but all I know is that was a pretty intense fight, because you can see the Fallen Shield with Blessed and Bloated about to reach the end, right? You know. At this moment, what I decided to do was grip my toes because I had no money, and to just see if I could make it. In which I didn't. Now, this wasn't really the most awesome source way to start the new map, but it was definitely more waves than last time, which is good. This time, at Wave 32, I absolutely beat the crap out of the Fallen Shield and win the wave. Now, it was time for the Fallen Angel. To describe this fight, think of a grown man and think of a baby, and think of the baby having a piece of lolly. And then think of the grown man beating the baby up and then taking the lolly to eat it. And after eating it, spits on the baby and runs away. This is what the fight felt like. What I'm trying to say here is that the fight wasn't really a fight and more of a slaughter, as I killed it nearly instantly. Now it was time for the Fallen Honor Guard. I was really scared of this wave because I had really bad DPS as well as having really barely any of the DPS. So first of all, I don't have any crowd control, which you need to beat the series of waves from wave 35 to wave 38, because if you just look at the time is very, very short. You need to kill the enemies very quickly, or have a crap ton of crowd control to deal with them all at once. Because the aim of these sequence of waves is to overwhelm you with so many enemies that you just die. And I do die, right? And it wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. I think of a baby and think of a grown. And now, this I'm pretty sure was my last attempt, because every attempt took a lot of time, and this time it wasn't even close. If you just look at the enemies by the time that I lost, it was nowhere near beating it. Alright? So, I mean, I couldn't beat it. That could be I suck, or it could just be I just don't have the necessary like tower skins. For example, the Mage Necromancer skin, right? So, maybe you can try it out for yourself. Maybe I'll try it out next year. I'm not entirely sure. And gee willikers, that's all, folks.